Hey everybody, it's Rob from Flailthroughs. This is Gundam Battle Operation 2, and this is the Shako. I've been trying to get around with this for a while. I mentioned yesterday or the day before, I think, if you don't take this to Jaburo, because in tight spaces, a Hyper Hammer Gundam will just absolutely obliterate you in one downswing. But yeah, it has it has its own flight mechanic, which is very similar to like the default flight mechanic that that say the Byerlant and all of those have, which is that it does consume boost, but also just because it uses the beam rotor shield as propulsion. If that shield gets broken, you do drop out of the sky. Beam shields, of course, recharge, but yeah. The beam shield can be used while in flight, so can your single saber and any of your ranged weapons. I believe I don't use it in this round, but the beam cannons on the shoulders can be used while boosting. I don't use it in this round because I forgot that. But yeah, it's not bad. It is a heavy attack raid. It also has a pretty decent Gatling, single and double sabers, beam rifle, a decent skill set. I don't, like I said, it's a little bit fragile. I feel like the fact that the Gundam can one-shot it if it positions itself correctly with the Hyper Hammer kind of means maybe some buffs are in order, but I definitely kept running this through the modification bay in the hangar until I had until I had melee defense. I have level 4, so I think like 8 extra points of melee resistance on this, something like that. Yeah, so it is it was needed. Yeah. Number 2 and I kind of tripped over each other a little bit, but yeah, took that out. I thought about it. Thought about trying to find the pilot, which number 2 already did. Now that I look at the now that I look at the messages on the bottom left side. But yeah, I took a second to try and find them, so at least we were already ahead, so I'm not getting everybody blown up. But yeah, the refined goof was actually quite a problem for me in either this round or the one previous. It is pretty nasty. Again, just man, this thing has 19,000 hit points the way I built it, so I'm kind of surprised that it's that much. But oh yeah, also the heavy attack is that lunge. It has a really long wind up, so it can be relatively easy to telegraph, which is why I waited until they were both behind that ridge on this tarp we were standing on, so, just so I would have a little bit of cover for starting it. And I did manage to tag 2 people, so I think I managed to land 1 or 2 more of those during the round. But yeah, landing heavy attacks really not my goal with this so much as just doing whatever damage I can, usually at range, because like I said, this does have a certain sense of fragility to it. So I feel like the bullet should go between those buildings, but collision detection in video games is a thing. And let's see. But yeah, the trying to think here. The beam cannons on the shoulders do have a certain amount of aim assistance. Yeah, and this is just the that downswing on the whip just will wreck you. That the Arifgo's whip is incredibly strong. So, and of course it has 2 of them. It used 1 to stop me, and then one to just totally wreck me. But we are ahead by a little bit. That's not a bad thing. Got about a little over 3 minutes left. And yeah, things. But yeah, I do like this. I'm looking forward to hopefully eventually getting the Tomliet, which should have the same mechanism for. Okay, yeah, that heavy just took out that G cannon that had most of its health. That's pretty good. It's more than pretty good. But yeah, Tomliet should have the same flight mechanism. I just always like the design. There's something about it that's just very, I don't know, just very sturdy. I feel like it's a very basic design, but it's it's very solid looking and it's a nice shade of purple. So I don't know what else you really need in life. Let's see. Now my favorite color is still blue, which is why the logo is that. But also because, I was kind of copying dialogue boxes in old RPGs like Final Fantasy. So yeah, that's the other reason the icon is that shade of blue. But yeah, um, I like I said, I'm hoping this does get some buffs because I feel like I feel like it just needs a little bit more in the way of defense. Like I, what is it? The Pursuit Melee Auxiliary program is the one that does more damage. I think there's one that does that gives you extra defense when you're downed with two melee attacks, and I think that would be a very very good addition to this suit. But beyond that, beyond that, I'm taking a lot of damage, but I have got my hands on the goof. As you can see, you can get a nice like 3 downswing combo with that. Right now, yeah, I did that a little bit too early, and I'm glad somebody else was there to finish off the goof, because, man. But yeah, I was just kind of hoping to hang out behind the goof's shoulder, and when its iframes dropped, smack it with the shield. Did not, as you saw, work out that way. See, the G cannon can fly, but I can stun it with the Gatling and hopefully get in range. Going to re-stun it with the beam cannon, hopefully, which did not work out, but that's okay, because I managed to get the last shot in there. And we've got a little bit over a minute left and a couple of things right on me. We have got a tremendous lead at this point, so I'm not too worried about it. But be nice to grab a couple more things before the round is over. One thing about the heavy attack is that it is not particularly steerable. Whatever direction you are facing when it starts is the direction it will go. If you try and turn it with the camera after you start moving, you're not going to get much headway with it. That was the other problem I was having in those Jaburo matches. It was, yeah, this is not, the flying mobile suit is not good in cramped spaces. Imagine. No, it's really not. It is not a good match for Jaburo. I do feel like more melee defense would be good, but also some of that is on me because, yeah, I just shouldn't have been there. But let's see. Yeah. Wanted to do support fire. Somebody else had the same idea, so I am just going to spawn my Shako and get back to it in time, hopefully. But yeah. Yeah, I like the thing. I like the sound effect it makes when it uses its special visor. Just that is a really cool thing. Managed to stop one person from getting me. I don't know if I make it through. Yeah, I did make it through until time ran out. So, yeah, one good shield smack at least kept me alive until now. So I will take that. But yeah, like I said, it's pretty good. I like the design. It's not bad. Let's see, final score is who? Only 3-3, but 96,000 damage and third place overall. I will take that. And that is going to do it for today's Gundam Battle Operation 2. We'll be back soon with more. Till next time, everybody take care and have fun. Later. I may have mentioned this before. A matter of fact, I'm certain I have at least once, but the reason I pronounce it Shako is that's how the katakana go with it. I have no idea how they got to what looks like Shokew in English using that, but there's a lot of spellings in Gundam that just don't make sense, as I've talked about many a time. But yeah, again, I don't know how they got there, but yeah, Shako is what the katakana say. Shokew is fine. Man, again, this is where the victory kind of goes really weird on the enemy mobile suit names. I feel like in a way that that hadn't been done for a while in Gundam. It feels like I don't know. There's just I guess just because of years of exposure, names like Sazabi and Gyaradoga sound more reasonable somehow than Shako, which is that's just my brain. That's on me. I have no idea.